Hey, this is my first attempt at a video like this, so my apologies in advance if this is amateurish and terrible. But, I had this thing I was thinking about, and I thought maybe, I have this channel that I created and I wanted to post some content to it, so maybe I could make a little opinion piece yapping about this. And to be clear, to give you a fair warning, this will be a bit of a yapathon.
Wow, this is garbage. You actually like this?
Entertainment media. I mean, we all consume it. You're on YouTube watching some video. And what I want to talk about specifically about that is the difference between enjoyment and quality. I see a lot online people conflating the two and acting as if they're the same thing. Because you like something, that means that it's good objectively. And what I often see happening is people throwing around words like masterpiece a lot, way more than they need to be used. People tend to feel the need to argue their opinions on media like it's a court case. Like they gotta prove that they're right about something being good or something being bad. What ends up happening is people will get angry or personally offended if you dislike something that they like. I feel like we throw around words, especially things like masterpiece. I see people throw around masterpiece every 5 minutes on the internet. I feel like we overuse quality terms when really we should be using enjoyment terms. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts on the difference between quality and enjoyment because I think they are very different. Objective quality is a thing. Of course it is. There is bad writing and there is good writing. There are bad effects and good effects. However, enjoyment is extremely subjective. Certain tones, themes, characters, settings, tropes, they're all going to appeal to different people depending on their experiences and their backgrounds. So when you're consuming a piece of media, be it a video game, a movie, a album, whatever it might be, your personal preferences are going to dictate, at least in some part, how you feel about it, whether or not it resonates with you, not just the quality of it. And that's what I don't see people talking about online, right? We've kind of gotten into this culture of when you give a rating, people score things as if they're scoring it purely on its artistic merits and not on how they enjoyed it. A thing can be 10 out of 10 quality and you still have 4 out of 10 enjoyment of it. Does your enjoyment of it take away from its quality? No. But does its quality override your enjoyment? Also, no, I think. One thing I see the conflation leading to is since people view their opinions as if they're facts, that leads them to get very angry when people don't agree with them. I see oftentimes people online getting rabidly angry or aggressive because someone doesn't like their favorite anime, which in my opinion is stupid. I think that it's okay to just say, I like this or I don't like this about something and not give any sort of video essay argument behind why. It's okay to just enjoy something because it resonated with you, or not to enjoy something because it didn't resonate with you. That's fine. That's okay. And I wish more people would realize that's okay and that's fine. If you separate quality and enjoyment, you can actually appreciate stuff more. There have been times where I have watched or listened to or played something and recognize the fact that it really wasn't that good quality wise. The writing was bad or whatever. And I still enjoyed it because it had themes and characters and settings that I personally just like or enjoy. And there have been other times where I've watched or played or listened to things that didn't have the things that I personally like, but it was good quality. So even though I didn't necessarily enjoy it as much as I could have, I still can recognize the good quality and appreciate the art behind it. One important example for me of me having a bit of a dissonance between the quality and enjoyment is the Star Wars prequel trilogy. I understand that two of the three of those movies are pretty bad, generally, writing wise. However, I still really enjoy them because I watched them when I was very young with my dad and my brother, and they have a special significance to me. It's not about the quality, it's about my own personal preferences and enjoyment. There's a difference there, and I can recognize the fact that they are poor quality, generally speaking, not always. Revenge of the Sith is good, I will die on that hill. But I also see the fact that I can enjoy them nonetheless. And I just think online discourse would be better if we all recognize that. It's okay that people like different things, and it's okay if you disagree with somebody about something. That's what makes us interesting, right? Having different personalities, right? Everyone has a different opinion, and we can discuss and debate without resorting to baseline tribalistic instincts. And this isn't an anti debate piece. Don't get me wrong. And I think it's good when people with contrary opinions debate each other. That's always a good thing. However, when you start to think that your opinions and your facts are the same thing, that's when you run into problems. And that's when emotions get involved, and that's when people get unnecessarily aggressive. And I don't think that's a good thing, because debate ends as soon as you start to get angry. Then it becomes an argument, and arguments lead to nothing. Maybe at some point try saying something like, "This isn't the best quality wise, but I just enjoy it because the themes or whatever, the tropes, the characters." And vice versa. Maybe one time you can say, "Well, I understand or I recognize the objective quality of this piece. However, I didn't like it very much." Statements like that might get your head ripped off, but I think it's important. And if you see someone else saying something like that, saying, "Oh, I didn't like this very much," don't rip their head off. If you take away one thing from this ramble session, I told you it was going to be a ramble session. I hope that it's just there's a difference between quality and enjoyment. And recognizing that, for me at least, has legitimately helped me appreciate the media I consume more. There's more nuance to enjoyment, and as much as I feel like nuance is used by pretentious folk who really don't know what they're talking about, so they just slap the word nuance on in order to cover their butt. I really do think there is nuance to enjoyment. So, if you somehow enjoyed this in some way, maybe hit those buttons that are down there. The people who actually know how to do this, they hit it with one of these, so I guess I should do it as well. If you're one of the 4 people who is watching this and isn't someone who personally knows me, good to meet you. I plan to do something with this channel in the future. Maybe less opinion ramble sessions, more interesting, entertaining content, hopefully. Here's hoping. Maybe figure out my lighting situation, because I'm not actually this pale in real life. I promise. I promise. But anyways, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. Take care.